Alright everybody, this is the intro. Yep, that's what's happening. Today we start the assembly of the Focus RS motor. That is the bottom end. That's another bottom end.
3 bottom ends.
Yes. Alright, so we're gonna undo this guy. And we're gonna find all the gaskets, and then we're gonna hop into this box and grab the head and start doing all that. We've got the original motor chilling over here, and we'll be ripping off the accessories and wiring harness off of that boy after this is all done. So yeah, stay tuned.
Over here, putting Mikey's focus motor back together, and right now we're installing the ARP studs on the block, which they're already lubed up, and I already lubed them up already, and we're torquing them down to 15 foot-pounds of torque. The reason I torque them down is to when I slap on the head and I put the washers and nuts on it, I don't want the stud actually moving, giving me a false reading. So once the studs are bottomed out on the block and torqued down to 15 foot-pounds, I slap on the head and put the washers on it and put the nuts and torque it down and give me the right torque spec on it. And yeah, we'll go from there, and keep you guys posted so you can see this turnout on this beast.
So these only go 15? It's not like multiple steps?
No, they're 15 foot-pounds of torque. That's it on that. Well, torquing on the head, you got to do it 3 steps, which is 25, 50. Woo! That was pretty big. It was car going off. Whose car is that? I don't know, but that was pretty loud. So yeah, so torquing these head studs down, it's 3 steps, 25, 50, and 75. So then you have to, once you torque them down, you will have to loosen them again and retorque them again to stretch them out to the right proper spec.
So this is going to make it sound like an LS.
That's what this does.
Yep, those are the LS cams straight from a 5.3.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what's going on here. Assembled.
Just like that.
So I'm guessing by like the part number for these that continue showing up. I didn't look at the actual specs, or I haven't looked at them in a minute for this build, but I believe these are kind of smaller cams. I want to say, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure on the original, my first Focus RS that I had built by Tune Plus with the Type B build, like I believe that they were 292s, I think, and based on the part number and a number that keeps on reoccurring on the little label for these, I believe these are 270s. So not LS. She will not be sounding stroked or low-B or anything, which is fine. I want this to sound as good as possible anyways. Like, to me, like the RS3, it's like a common rule with pretty much any car, is like the faster you want to go, the worse your car is going to sound. Like the RS3 to me is not where I would like it to be sound-wise, and it's going to keep on going further away from that the more that I do to it. The STI sounds good until you get on it, and then like when you want to go fast, you have sort of wastegates, and normally you have dump tubes for those wastegates. and then whenever you get on it and you get into boost and the wastegate opens up, you have like a demon yelling while like having explosive diarrhea. So like I'm not a big fan of that aspect of going fast. I'd rather both. I'd rather the car sound good and be quick, not just sound like bleh. But that's what happens. But not having low means that like I'm a little bit closer to that, like not having the extra noises everywhere thing. Eventually I'm gonna be getting another Skyline, and I already have a motor and transmission for it. And my buddy Mikey, VR Fabrications, originally whenever I had my first GTR and I was going to be building that motor, he was all like, "Can it?" And I'm going to this time around. The first time I was like, nah, because the stock motor, well, we're doing like the precautionary stuff to it. The stock motor can handle the power that I was going for, and it sounds beautiful. It sounds like an RV should. Whenever you cam those things, like, no, your inline six gets close to like a rotary kind of, and it's not great. But yeah, getting more serious into going fast. So. Ooh. Super Jack. Alright, so we got Super Tech valve springs. Oh, and the bag is open. Alright, so valve springs. We've got more packing stuff. Everything else is already in this boy, and this bitch is gonna be heavy as heck. It's not that bad!
You can do it.
Okay. So this is a Focus RS head. Okay.
Don't buy eBay Torx bits because they'll break with.
Don't buy Amazon. Don't buy Amazon torque bits because they'll break with 15 pounds of force. I'd like to thank Adam for giving me head.
Pretty good head.
Yeah, he did a good job.
So those are the washers to put on the head?
Yes. Remember, like I explained in Raymond Warner's GTR, all these washers, sorry for the light, they have a beveled on top. See, it's like sort of like roundish. Then if you flip it the other way around, see how it's nice machine flat? I don't know if you can see it.
Totally show them that if the camera would actually focus.
Yeah, but right now this is the flat side. You always gotta make sure you always put this facing the cylinder head down when you're clamping down on it. If you put it upside down and you torque it down, the washers is ain't gonna do nothing, and you're gonna have a head gasket issue. Just always make sure you put the flat side facing down and the bevel side towards the top, so when you torque it down, it puts tension on the bolt and on the nut, and it will not lose torque spec. So yeah.
Alright everybody, so we got the head torqued down to the bottom end. Now we need to start disassembling everything off of the original block so that we can get timing and everything else, pretty much just continue start moving everything over from this to there. Pretty much everything except for the turbo is going to be flopping over to that guy. So we're gonna start doing whatever, like we're gonna start doing what we can on the ground, getting everything taken off, and then once it's stripped, pretty much just long block. Once it's stripped to there, we will grab one of our other engine stands and manhandle the thing onto there, so that Jag can start disassembling it a little bit further and start throwing all the timing and everything onto the new one. So we're gonna get on that, go to Lowe's, grab a few things that we need, and then we can start getting everything onto that motor. So while Kibby and JR went to go grab the second engine stand, I went ahead and took off the high pressure fuel pump and the lines to it so that I could get the valve cover off, it is off now. I've undone all of the bolts to the front cover. I am currently fighting to get the water pump off because there's a nice seal that doesn't want to come off for me. And then we'll go ahead and remove the front cover and get the motor on the stand. And then there's not really much else left on this that needs to come off to go over to the other one. So almost done with this motor. Then it'll be sitting in a closet somewhere waiting to hopefully never be used again. So I am putting the baffles on this baffle plate from Radiant. You'll see just a little bit, pretty much the same thing, except this is a nice metallic material as opposed to this plastic material, and 2 baffles rather than just the singular one. So I'm about to tighten these guys down and then throw it on the block behind me. Okay, so we have finished tearing everything off the original motor that needs to get torn off. Tomorrow we're gonna go pick up some degreaser and clean off some of the components, the tiny components that we need to slap on here, and then I will go ahead and continue on a little bit with getting more of the bolt-ons on, or the accessories on and everything. I need to take my golf to a certain place tomorrow. So while we're out, we're going to go ahead and probably drop the original direct injectors off to get cleaned before putting the rail back on and everything. But we have plenty of other things that we can get done tomorrow while we wait for that to happen. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.